The electronic controls for 2001 Kenmore Source 106 side-by-side refrigerators combine several functions previously controlled separately: adaptive defrost control, independent temperature control, and water filter indicator control. Two new functions, pulse defrost and evaporator fan delay, are also incorporated into the new electronic control systems. Some models will have a console that provides digital numeric displays. These models can be set to desired temperature levels in degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Either scale can be displayed. Refrigerators with digital numeric displays for temperature set points also have a similar digital display that shows the remaining water filter capacity by percentage. Other available features include Exceller Ice 2 and Grocery Saver. Other models will display temperature status and water filter status with LEDs. Each time the refrigerator is plugged into a wall outlet, the electronic control performs a 13-second self-diagnostic test prior to starting a cooling cycle. The compressor will turn on 10 seconds into this routine. Cold air from the freezer compartment is directed into the refrigerator compartment through a motorized air baffle. The air baffle operation is controlled by input from the refrigerator compartment thermistor located inside the baffle assembly. The refrigerator compartment control allows the customer to select a temperature between 33 and 41 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 to 9 degrees Celsius. When the refrigerator thermistor senses a temperature above the customer's setting, the baffle opens and the evaporator fan will run. The compressor may or may not run depending on the temperature in the freezer compartment. The baffle closes when the refrigerator compartment temperature setting is reached. Freezer temperature is monitored by a thermistor located in the freezer compartment. The freezer compartment controls allow the customer to select a temperature between -5 and 5 degrees Fahrenheit or -21 to -15 degrees Celsius. When the freezer thermistor senses a temperature above the customer's setting, the electronic control immediately starts the compressor. The evaporator fan starts 40 seconds after the compressor starts. This delay allows the evaporator to begin to cool before air is circulated inside the freezer. If the evaporator fan is already running to cool the refrigerator compartment, it will continue to run without the 40-second delay. The compressor turns off when the selected freezer temperature is reached. The evaporator fan will continue to run for an additional 2 minutes. To protect the compressor, the electronic control will not allow the compressor to restart for 6 minutes. In the event of a thermistor or keypad failure, the electronic control will use one of 3 default modes. These default modes will continue until the failure is corrected. If the refrigerator thermistor fails, the electronic control will cycle the baffle open for 10 minutes and closed for 10 minutes. The evaporator fan will run when the baffle is open. If the freezer thermistor fails, both the compressor and evaporator fan will cycle on and off in 15-minute intervals. If the electronic control detects a keypad failure, temperatures will default to 0 degrees Fahrenheit or -18 degrees Celsius in the freezer and 37 degrees Fahrenheit or 3 degrees Celsius in the refrigerator. This air baffle differs from previous models. The electronic control operates the air baffle and evaporator fan independently of each other. The position of the air baffle door is monitored through a single cam switch. During a defrost cycle, the air baffle remains closed. Pulse defrost follows this pattern each time defrost is called for. For the first 5 minutes of defrost, the heater is on continuously. The heater then turns off for 1 minute. The heater then turns on for 2 minutes. The heater will continue to cycle 1 minute off and 2 minutes on until the bimetal opens or 25 minutes have elapsed. The heater then turns off, and a 3-minute drip time begins. This allows the water to drain before the refrigerator returns to the cooling mode. Maximum defrost time is 28 minutes. Immediately following a defrost cycle, the compressor starts to chill the evaporator. The evaporator fan is delayed for 4 minutes and 15 seconds to prevent unnecessary movement of warm, moist air through the refrigerator. In addition, the air baffle door will remain closed for 10 minutes following a defrost cycle. When attempting to service any component in the refrigerator, observe these warnings. Electrostatic discharge conditions exist everywhere and could damage or weaken electronic printed circuit boards. Use an anti-static wrist strap grounded to a green ground connection point or unpainted metal surface in the appliance. Touch the package of a new electronic printed circuit board to a green ground connection point or unpainted metal surface in the appliance before removing the board from the package. Handle all printed circuit boards by their edges. Accessing and servicing the electronic control board could present an electrical shock hazard. Disconnect power before servicing. Replace all panels before operating. Failure to do so can result in death or electrical shock. The electronic control board is located inside the control panel in the refrigerator compartment. To access the electronic control board, remove the 4 screws that secure the control panel to the top of the refrigerator compartment. Remove the 3 screws securing the electronic control board cover to the inside of the control panel. Press against the large plastic retaining clip to release the main portion of the board from the control panel. Then, release the narrow portion of the board from the 8 plastic clips securing it to the control panel. Disconnect the wire connectors and carefully remove the board from the control panel. Carefully remove the control panel overlay. Begin by lifting one corner and then pull up on the overlay until it's completely removed from the front of the control panel. Finally, remove the control panel insert by disengaging it from the 8 tabs securing it to the control panel. Push in on the base of the tabs to release them from the control panel. Remove the new control board from the electrostatic packaging. Carefully bend the front of the board up until the tabs between the 2 boards separate. The boards will remain connected by trace wires. Be careful not to damage any components on the top side of the board. Position the tabs on the narrow board under the edge of the main board until it is bent at about a 40-degree angle. Reconnect the wiring harness connectors to the new board. Install the new board under the plastic retainers in the control panel. Position the narrow board first, making sure the LEDs are correctly positioned in the control panel. Replace the control panel in the refrigerator and secure it with the 4 screws removed earlier. The air baffle is located in the upper back left corner of the refrigerator compartment. Remove the screw securing the wire channel to the top left side of the refrigerator compartment and remove the wire channel. Remove the screw securing the air baffle cover to the left compartment wall. Disconnect the thermistor wire plug from the wiring harness connector. Slide the thermistor wire from the strain relief in the baffle cover and slide the thermistor from the retainers in the baffle cover. Next, move to the freezer compartment. If the unit being serviced has an ice in the door feature, the ice maker must be removed. Begin by removing the service door covering the ice maker. Remove the wiring harness cover from the bottom back of the ice maker. Release the retaining tab at the lower left side of the ice maker mounting bracket and slide the ice maker forward. close the emitter door, and slide the ice maker out. Disconnect the wiring harness plug from the ice maker connector block. Locate the air chute at the top of the freezer and remove the 2 screws securing the air chute to the top of the freezer. Remove the air chute. Remove the air scoop from the back of the air baffle. Remove the tape securing the freezer thermistor to the freezer liner. Release the air baffle retaining clips from the freezer compartment wall and pull the air baffle assembly into the refrigerator compartment. Disconnect the wiring harness plug from the air baffle motor terminals. Remove the tape securing the freezer thermistor wire to the air baffle assembly. Disconnect the thermistor wire plug from the wiring harness connector. When installing a new thermistor in units with shelf ladders in the freezer, drop the thermistor in until it's visible in the top ladder opening and then pull it up until it's just out of view. Tape the thermistor wire to the freezer liner. For models without shelf ladders, the thermistor should be placed 7.8 inches or 20 centimeters from the top of the freezer behind the air scoop. The electronic control system provides a service diagnostic routine. However, before attempting the service diagnostic routine, check the following. Confirm actual temperatures in both the refrigerator and freezer with a thermometer before doing other checks. Listen to hear if the compressor, evaporator, and condenser fan are running. Check the position of the motorized air baffle by opening the freezer door and the refrigerator door. Depress the light switch in the refrigerator compartment and look through the air baffle assembly. If the air baffle door is open, light will be visible from the freezer compartment. Before attempting the service diagnostic routine, be sure the unit has been plugged into a wall outlet for at least 13 seconds. To enter the service diagnostic routine, press the control on-off button and the water filter reset button simultaneously for 3 seconds. On models with digital display, the refrigerator compartment temperature display will show the diagnostic step number. On models with LED display, the freezer temperature lights will show the diagnostic step number. The water filter status indicator will show the results of the check. On models with digital display, a number 1 shows the component passes. A number 2 indicates the component fails. On models with LEDs, a green light indicates pass and a red light indicates fail. Step 1 checks the presence of the freezer thermistor. To advance to the next step, press and hold the water filter status reset button until a beep sounds. Step 2 checks the presence of the refrigerator thermistor. These tests do not check for the correct temperature resistance values of the thermistors. Refer to the thermistor resistance chart in the service manual. Press the reset button again. In steps 3 through 6, the water filter status indicator will not show anything. The service diagnostic routine will attempt to run each component. Step 3 runs the evaporator fan motor. Step 4 runs the compressor and condenser fan motor. Step 5 continuously cycles the air baffle open and closed. Step 6 energizes the defrost heater circuit. The heater will glow red if the bimetal is closed. If any of the components fail during these tests, voltage check should be performed. Following step 6, press and hold the water filter reset button for 2 seconds until there's a beep sound. This returns the unit to cooling mode. In addition to the service diagnostic routine, 2 tests are available to check water filter status circuits. To check the dispenser valve input, open the refrigerator door and depress the door light switch. Activate the water dispenser. The water filter indicator light should show yellow, or the digital display should show 1. To check the ice maker fill valve input, cycle the ice maker. For in-the-door ice models, disconnect power from the unit for 5 seconds. If the ice maker is not in harvest mode, an insulated jumper will be required. Then restore the power with the freezer door open. Then close the freezer door. The ice maker will cycle within 5 seconds. Open the freezer and remove the jumper. Open the refrigerator door. Depress the light switch as the ice maker energizes the fill valve. The water filter indicator light should show red, or the digital display should show 10. For a complete explanation of these tests and other troubleshooting assistance, refer to Service Manual Part Number 46110501, entitled 2001 Kenmore Source 106 Side-by-Side Refrigerator Electronic Controls. This concludes the video presentation on 2001 Kenmore Source 106 Side-by-Side Refrigerator Electronic Controls.